Hello, I am Marco, a philosopher, a linguist, and a mathematician. And today I would like to talk about the concept of value. What is value? How do we set the values to products? Why that value and not another value? So, what value? Why value? I would like to start talking about this painting, Ecce Homos, rediscovered in 2021. At the very beginning, it was thought to be José de Ribera's painting. José de Ribera is a Spanish painter, 17th century, second, third line, not really popular. So the price given to the painting was 1,500 euro. However, after some research, they discovered that the author was Caravaggio, a much more recognized renamed author, and the price raised up to $36 million. Such a big difference for exactly the same piece, exactly the same painting, exactly the same canvas. Well, exactly the same, but big difference of price depending on the author. And if we dig deep into the issue, we can analyze what is this? Actually, it's a piece of canvas with some paint. If we take the material, the cost of it is less than $100, probably around $50. We have huge differences of prices for more or less the same product or even for exactly the same product. Why this? It's basically because in every object, in every service, we have three different kind of values. One is the material value. And in our case, in the Caravaggio's painting, it would be the canvas and the paint. What I said, less than $100. But we have the social value, how the community appreciate objects, products, or services. And in this case, we can see very clearly that because of social value, the same painting can be valued in $1,500 or $36 million, according to the author, but specifically according to the community, giving the recognition to the author. And then we have personal value. We can individually value the same object in different ways according to personal factors. So let me put my image. I will show you $1 note. And let's try to analyze this $1 note. This is a note. How much does it cost? Let's see this. So basically, the note, the real value, material value of the note is not $1. It's actually a few cents. The cost of the paper and the cost of the ink, maybe the research to make it difficult to copy and so on, to be cheated and to fraud and but a few cents basically. However, the social value of one note of $1 is actually $1. That means that as a human community, when we deal with other people, when we do transactions, when we buy stuff, when we sell stuff, we admit the value of this piece of paper to be $1. However, let's make it a bit more challenging. Imagine this dollar for me is very special. Imagine my father gave it to me before he died. So the value of this note for me would be infinite. Wouldn't be a few cents, the material, or $1, the social value, but infinite because it was the last present given by my father to me before he died. So here we have personal value. Let's see some other examples and let's see that the links between these three different kind of values, social, material, and individual, they are not the borders. The links are continuously changing, and the borders between these three categories are quite blurry. They are not steady. Yeah? So every object, or almost every object, has a little bit of these three values. Interestingly, most of the times, products, services, or even people, they start having material value, and because of this material value, they finally acquire, or they acquire social value, or we can also say that the material value reinforced the social value. Here we have two football players, Cristiano Ronaldo and Raúl González. People who follow the Spanish football league will know about them. So if they you know their stories, they were very good football players, because they played and they performed very well. They give an extra value to the club. They won a lot of games, and actually they had what we can call material value. They were good values, but because of this material value, the fans, the supporters of Real Madrid started loving them, and finally they loved them a lot. So they acquired social value because they had good material value. But there was a moment in their lives when they were getting old, they were not performing so well. And normally, sooner or later, when you lose material value, you lose the social value. So, and in sports, and especially in soccer, that happens usually fast. So if you start performing bad, you can be a legend of the team. People may love you, but sooner or later the supporters will say, "Hey, I'm sorry, but this is not your time anymore. You have to leave or you have to retire." Before that happened, when they were starting to decrease a bit in their performances, the club decided to sell them because they still had a good social value and a good market value in the international transfer market of football players. That's what Florentino Perez did with these two players and with many other players, like Iker Casillas as well. So, and probably in this kind of transactions, there is also personal value. Probably Florentino Perez, the president or the head staff of Real Madrid Football Club, or even the players, they were very attached to because of the good experiences and the good moments, and they were legends. So there is also as personal value that takes an influence in these the decisions as well. I show here now example Xiaomi versus Apple. Apple started to be a small company that acquired material value because of the quality of his products, and finally, after a few years, it got a huge social value, a brand value, which is social, and people started to love Apple at the very beginning because of the quality of the product. Finally, because of the social value as well as the quality. Something similar happens with Xiaomi. Xiaomi was very popular. It's becoming very popular. But at the very beginning, it was popular because it was a cheap brand with cheap products. But the quality of the products was good enough, high enough. So at least in the Asian market during the last 5 years, it's getting a high social value. It's a well-valued brand nowadays. So in two different cases, but same idea from the material to the social value. And when it decreases the material value, the social value sooner or later will decrease as well. It is important to make the difference between material, social, and also individual value because it actually marks our daily life. Our values define our identity. So, for instance, here down left, I have a picture of what I really love to do in my life, which is going to the mountain and do some hiking, and finally eat some huevos rotos con jamón, like a fried egg with ham and bread, Spanish bread, and some maybe beer as well. That's for me life. That's what I really love, and I would call it more material value. But some people would say, yeah, that's personal value. Anyway, some other people they prefer to go to social events. They prefer to socialize many times in a stylish way, going to fancy restaurants, having a fancy wine, wearing brandy clothes, trendy clothes, be fashionable, just moving around, elites, and so on. That's clearly social value. Does it mean that some people are better than the other? No. It means that there are some people with some values, some other people with some other values, and these values, they finally conformed different identities. And actually, our identity also describes the way we handle values, the way we discriminate in our decisions, giving the priority to some values and not to others. So in short, what I want to say is that values define our identity. There are three different kind of values: the social, the material, and the individual. And the way we combine them, the way we give a priority to some of them and not to the others in the specific decisions and choices of our lives, marks our identity and finally our goals. If we want to have a goal, any goal or most of goals, even if they are different, can be suitable or can be accepted. But the way of getting these goals is to know about this, to know about the system of values, to know how to handle them, to distribute them, and from there to make a path to that goal. That's the way to our goals. That's the way to our happiness.